Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I just want to start off by associating myself with the comments from Senator Inhofe about the concerns that airports have for being held liable for use of PFAS, AFFF retardants. And by the way, Mr. Chairman, I think no other senator has as much flight time that is as slow and as low to the ground as I do. So, oh, you guys are all jet jocks.
There's a lot of record holders here, we have. And one of them coming in right now. Coming in for Senator Kelly.
If you want to go very slowly and at 300 feet or less above ground, I'm your gal.
All right.
Mr. Chairman, as chair of the Water Subcommittee and a fellow founding member of and co-chair of the Senate's first Environmental Justice Caucus, I commend your leadership in making sure our committee pays as much attention to upgrading our country's unseen infrastructure as we provide for the resources for fixing our roads, bridges, and rail. And I'm proud that working together, we have secured record funding levels for water infrastructure across the bipartisan infrastructure bill, including more than $10 billion dedicated to PFAS cleanup. These historic investments would deliver significant benefits to low-income communities, in particular, rural areas as well, and communities of color. And it will help right the past wrongs of allowing our military families and industrial communities to bear the brunt of toxic chemical dumping. Administrator Foxx, now that your team has put forward the most comprehensive PFAS plan in EPA's history, could you address how preserving the robust water infrastructure funding in the bipartisan infrastructure bill and the Build Back Better Act would enhance EPA's ability to provide clean, safe, reliable water for all Americans?
Yes, thank you, Senator, for the question. So we are very excited by the comprehensive nature of the roadmap, and we were really intentional about identifying what we can do with our existing resources. But the bipartisan infrastructure package and the Build Back Better plan would be a game changer in our ability to address PFAS. For example, the $10 billion that is proposed in the bipartisan the bill that this committee led the development of and passed through the Senate. I mean, that $10 billion would be a game changer for communities in being able to do cleanups, making sure drinking water, wastewater systems are safe and PFAS free. So those dollars are essential. But beyond the resources for PFAS that are in that legislation, the rest of the resources that would be going to building and reinvesting in our drinking water and wastewater systems, removing lead service lines, really retiring them so that communities have lead-free water. All of these things are desperately needed in our communities. Communities have been waiting too long for these investments. And what I can say is, under Administrator Regan's leadership, we stand ready to steward these resources, if passed by Congress, safely, responsibly, efficiently, to, again, support our communities in living the healthiest lives possible.
Thank you. I'm going to return to the firefighting use of aqueous firefighting foams that contain PFAS and other PFAS, long-chain PFAS. I mean, we've known for decades that these are a dangerous risk to public health, and despite this knowledge, we've continued to use these harmful foams to put out industrial fires, and in the process, they've now seeped into our ground. We've been talking about this all morning, but most Americans don't know we're still using them. I mean, in my home state of Illinois, AFFF has been used in 3 separate incidents in just the last several months. This includes a battery storage fire where AFFF was used for hours until EPA was finally consulted and advised that they should stop using AFFF immediately and procure non-PFAS foams. And just last week, 50,000 gallons of AFFF were dumped at the Sugar Camp coal mine, and now the local area has contamination levels of serious concerns. Of course, Illinois is not alone in this. AFFF represents a national public health threat that touches upon the 3 core components of EPA's PFAS roadmap. Ms. Foxx, can you address how implementing the roadmap's 3 central directives will enable us to proactively prevent the use of PFAS foams, making sure that we strengthen the cleanup efforts in communities where this foam has already been used, and also support research and development to promote non-PFAS firefighting foams and other alternative technologies?
Absolutely, Senator. We are doing our part at the EPA to help transition away from these firefighting foams that have PFAS in them, as well as supporting remediation and cleanup. But this is really an area where we need a whole of government approach to really solve this issue. FAA and DoD are also working very hard on this issue. But because we need a whole of agency approach, the White House just this week announced that under Chairman Brenda Mallory's leadership, there's a deputy secretary level interagency council, and we really view the council as a place for this type of cross-agency challenge to be solved together. And so this is a priority for us. It's a priority across the administration, and we are really looking to make rapid progress moving forward.
Thank you so much. I yield back, Mr. Chairman.